Well, this is Steve Ridgel, and tomorrow my granddaughter Avery Grace turns 17. Now that's a little hard to believe but we've got one that's 18 and got one as young as 14, so it's they're kind of spread out. But Avery's birthday is tomorrow, and I every time on one of my grand's birthdays, one of my kids, even my wife and others, I spend a little time talking about why I love them and what I think we can learn from them. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One is I want them to know how loved they are, and I want them to know why. And number two, I think it's really important sometimes for us to see other people and think, you know what? They're doing that well. I can do that better. And so that's why I do that every year. And so this is Avery's birthday. And so here's a couple of the reasons I love Avery and why I'm proud of her and what I think we can learn from her. One thing is, boy, Avery loves people. She does. Avery's very social, but I've never seen Avery with anybody that she doesn't get along with. I truly believe you could drop Avery Grace anywhere and she would learn to get along with people. We go on a family trip and she can hang out with the adults, she can hang out with her brother, she can hang out with any of her cousins, and every one of them enjoys it and wants to be with Avery. Now, part of that is because Avery doesn't insist on having things her way. If everybody wants to go into the ocean and Avery really doesn't, but that's what everybody else wants to do, she's okay to do that. And not because she's necessarily a people pleaser or she follows the crowd, but because Avery truly thinks, hey, if that's what everybody else wants, well, I can be happy and have a good time doing that. So I've seen Avery play sports she didn't know anything about. I've seen her play games she didn't know anything about. I've seen her do things where I think, really and truly, that's not what she'd choose. But she does it for everybody, and I think that's a special thing. And I want to be better about that, about not saying, here's what I want to do, let's all do that, but what does everybody want to do, and I can be a part of that. And I really do like the fact that she genuinely loves people. Avery loves animals. I used to think she loved animals so much she'd be a vet, and then I realized, well, she couldn't stand to see injured and hurting animals, sick animals. But Avery truly loves animals: dogs, cats, cows, horses. You pick the animal, Avery loves it. And I think there's something special about God, creation, and loving his creation. I trust people that love animals, and I got to tell you, animals love Avery. Boy, our dogs just love to hang out with Avery and be with Avery. And in fact, when I said her name, our dog Remy came walking right in to hear me do Avery's video. And so Remy loves Avery. I've never seen an animal didn't want to hang out around Avery. I think that says something about your heart and your life. And then thirdly, and most important, Avery loves God and Jesus. Now, she's 17, so I'm going to tell you, she's still figuring out what that means in her life. Avery's still figuring out how to live that out, how to make that her faith, not the faith of her family or necessarily of a church, but her faith. And I appreciate that Avery works on that, and she's doing that on her terms and in her timing. And so I love that about Avery. So in my life, I sit down and I think, you know what? Love God and love Jesus and figure out what that really means. Not because I have a job, just what does that mean in my life? That'd be a good exercise for you. I think, you know what? Keep loving animals because animals were created by God, and people that love animals and that animals love, that says something about who you are inside. And then I want to love people. I don't want to be a people pleaser, but I want to please people in the sense of it's not about me. I want people to enjoy being around me because they feel better, not because I feel better. So thanks, Avery Grace. Enjoy your birthday, and Mimi and Pops love you.